Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Bad Behavior, and this is a new dark comedy drama that is from writer, director, and star Alice Englert, and this film focuses on the story of Dylan, this young woman who's like a stunt performer, and she's just trying to do her job down in New Zealand, while her mother Lucy, played by Jennifer Connelly, is going to this strange kind of seeking enlightenment experience. She's a former child star, and it's led by this spiritual leader played by Ben Whishaw. And, things don't go great. And things get complicated, and these two are on a crash course with each other in trying to process their troubled mother-daughter relationship. And this film is wild, and tonally it's all over the place. Because you could tell, there's a level of drama. This is dealing with heavy stuff like suicide and depression and the trauma of being like a child star and trying to process that, and the trauma of having a failed mother-daughter relationship from the perspective of Englert's character Dylan, and you have a lot of heavy things like this. And it also tries to be darkly funny at times, which, yeah, it is darkly funny, but then there's moments that just come out of nowhere that are so violent and crazy and completely turns this film upside down and sends it completely careening in a completely different direction. Lucy is a very interesting character, and I think Jennifer Connelly gives a fantastic performance, really showing that she still has a lot in the tank in terms of an actor and what she's able to portray in this film. But this character is very all over the place and complicated in ways that is a little too unknowable and is really hard to connect with. And sure, you can make likable and sympathetic flawed characters, but I don't think Lucy ever reaches that point, to be perfectly frank, and does some very volatile things. And you have Dylan, who's Englert's character, who's Lucy's daughter, who is kind of co-leading the film for the first 2/3 before their stories come together, but she kind of feels like an afterthought, and those elements of the story kind of feel like an afterthought until it's time for them to be together. And I feel like this film struggles to really balance these two separate parallel storylines that are going on. I think Ben Whishaw is great as this Elon Bello character, and there's some other strong performances here. So the acting really works. Tonally, it's a rough go, and it's very clunky and bumpy along the way. And narratively, I was never quite sure exactly where this story was going, which is a good thing, but it never really gets to a place where, sure, after some long stretches of really over-explaining ham-fistedly their trauma and experiences, we get to a point where maybe Lucy and Dylan can be okay. And there's some elements of the film that feel so wildly just thrown in there. It feels so clunky and awkward at times, but it also is very well shot. There's definitely some really impressive framing and camera shots that capture intimacy of these performances and allow the actors to just really put it all out there. This has some big, heavy themes and strong performances that bring a lot of emotion out. But it just feels so clunky and awkward and strange that it never really comes together and really thoroughly hits those emotional beats to make this feel like it has a good grasp on it. But those are my thoughts on Bad Behavior. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.